the last remaining team for South America. 3 Brazilians holding down the country as they take on the behemoth in Faze Clan.
It is going to be a very, very big task for either of these teams to take it to Game 4, as far as we're all concerned. They just need to get that one, make sure it's not another sweep, but there are so many things riding on Europe right now. Faze Clan, we're all relying on them. There's a lot of world's implications from this series.
All we want to do is avoid a sweep. Once we've done that, we as an audience can be pleased. But for Furia, they want to do so much more than just compete in something that's at least a series that's going to fall. They want to be taking it to teams such as Faze Clan, who finally got their regional victory right at the end of the online split in North America.
And against K-Corp on day 1, Furia did not really look like their usual selves. Their mechanics were off. The team play really wasn't there. You didn't see Kaio at all, who was instrumental in their winter major run.
It's been tough as well, because after that, they had Gladiators, who they swept aside fairly easily, but that is expected. They cannot take too much from that experience up here against Faze Clan, where the attacks are so much faster.
An immediate attack going on from Faze Clan, trying to push down that Furia typical offense, where they typically attempt to try and go as far into that opposition half as they can, try and shut them down, try to terrify them into sitting back. But equally, Faze Clan, they're doing the exact same thing. This is just so much aggression trying to bump into each other. 2 rutting stags.
Kaio in the air, and he got the double touch dunk right into the net. Furia on the board first.
An immediate reaction as well from the blue side of the pitch on those player cams. They're screaming, they're shouting, wiping those smiles off Faze Clan's faces.
After losing to Falcons yesterday, Faze Clan are going to really struggle to deal with the attack now of Fury. You can see why they are so highly rated, and we expect so much more from them as we come into this competition.
Kaio, excuse me, trying to stop this. That's Faze having to defend another Fury attack. Here they come, another touch saved in front, but hanging it. And Yan is there to deliver the second goal.
2 in 1:15, and Yan passing central up to Card. The double tap so scary that 2 Faze players felt like they had to defend it.
I'm getting Season 3 vibes here. The double taps just undefendable right now from Faze Clan. Furia are really punishing them in that regard.
I mean, you could say Season 3 double taps. Everyone's been doing double taps. You saw Moist earlier, Joyo hitting double taps all over the place. It seems to be what's working for a lot of these teams. Furia starting out strong in game number 1. Faze trying to push right back, get within 1, but it's taken away.
Yan, what an exciting player to watch as well. He seems to have always burst onto the scene in the last couple of majors that they've managed to be here in. Passing across, not even involved in that play.
I absolutely love that decision. The time seemed to slow down right here, thinking, what is Kaio going to do? Yan was there in the way as well, but Card made it the perfect choice.
And it meant that Typical had to slow down at that near post, so his momentum completely eliminated, isn't then able to defend that bottom corner shot.
Still plenty of time for Faze to get started, as their engines have stalled out in the first 2 minutes of the game. Typical gets immediately taken away, and then Yan on top of it, not giving Faze any chance to try to catch, dribble, or do anything with that ball, and they just keep on shooting. Here's another one, crash in the box. Up high, Kaio in front. Does he have another one? Drops it down, but no one's there.
Faze Clan, who at some point during the last split, they had that reputation of a team that once they got into the latter stage of the tournaments, they just couldn't see it away, get over that hump, get the victory that they so craved. When you're at the major, it's about more than getting victories. It's about making it into the top 8, making sure that they can play in front of this crowd.
And it's not just about the team that you're playing for and your 2 teammates either side of you. It comes down to the regions. We saw Furia when they kicked off that interview. We're playing for a country. We're playing for a continent right now. And that is a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Teams back at home are going to be hoping that they're able to pull it through and secure a couple of spots at Worlds.
And in their post-game interview after they beat Gladiators, they were saying that they were thinking about strategy too much. They weren't having enough fun, and that was the problem. But here come Faze Clan, and finally AJ cracks it through for Faze.
That looked like no fun at all as First Killer tries to turn it on a little bit more typical, faking out Card, and Kaio passes it dead center of that net, middle of the target.
Usually their attack is so potent, but until that moment, Faze were looking just a little bit predictable when they were attacking Fury. But that fake, as you mentioned, Stumpy, completely changed the pace of the approach, and Fury are defeated.
Could be the start of something good here for Faze. They gotta get control of this ball. Yan looking, well, for my mark, Worlds better than he did on day 1. Not missing those touches, but you still gotta look out for Faze Clan. Another goal for Typical.
And an amazing assist. First Killer coming back down the pitch, receiving from Typical, tapping it. Into that top corner, you have to defend it, Card. There is no issue with his save, but that positioning from Typical is deadly.
Talk about unpredictability. First Killer cannot have that much space in your half and the ability to put the ball where he wants, because he'll force an angle that nobody else can generate, and suddenly FaZe Clan may be a slight favorites here despite still losing.
It only took a minute to get within one after initially being down 3 goals. Kaio, slight miss, and Carr gets dunked just like that. First killer ties up the game.
It's completely turned around here for FaZe Clan, and this is just making the most of an enemy's mistake. Card didn't see first killer there in his blind spot, and we're on as even.
Erupting with the FaZe Clan goal explosion as well. We've only just seen them come into the game, seeing them debut at this major as well. It's wonderful to see all these players having so much pride in the organizations that they choose to represent.
Momentum has flipped just within a game itself, and FaZe almost got another shot on. This one to the corner, AJ working around that Furia defense and still stinting on the counterattack.
One of the biggest question marks we had over FaZe Clan, even when they went back to the full major, as Yan goes up and almost gets the double tap. AJ with the save as the game finishes, was can they step up in these moments? They're proving now they can.
An immediate response as well from first killer, carrying it down the pitch, wanting to abate any of the pressure that he's able to. Didn't end up becoming a goal, but just being able to edge well out of defense means that his teammates had time to work their way back a little bit. And I'm just still blown away that that was even a save. I thought Yan had a goal there.
Oh, FaZe, not the best touch AJ would hope for, getting it down, but he got to the 50. Furia having some trouble getting set up on the orange half. That first minute was solely theirs, but since then, FaZe have slowly inched it back over towards the blue. But a little bit of push here from Furia as they continue to battle in the corner.
45 seconds left, and Furia have managed to step up a little bit after losing those 3 quick-fire goals. FaZe Clan, though, they turn it on so quick. AJ, look at him! Traversing the walls, beautiful, and the demo, but the pass is just too much.
Knocking the man out of the goal line as well. Kai removed, Yanks removed, and yet still even. First kill again removing Kai. The double demo, the pass in the middle, Typical is up, and the attack from FaZe Clan continues to be relentless. Final 20 seconds.
Pushed back over to the corner. FaZe waiting for this touch from Card. He puts it up high. It's read easily as Typical comes straight back down. And FaZe, all 3 of them converge, but Yan comes up with a touch at the end of regulation. Yan trying to get it away. Another touch taken away this time by Card. Cut off by AJ. First killer downfield, but AJ takes it himself. Dunk in front, and we go to overtime.
An unlikely overtime based on how this one started. Furia looked like they'd caught FaZe Clan cold, but not to be in this game.
Yeah, the mentality from FaZe to be able to work back and actually get those goals
It's
and
open.
get 3 of them.
It's
It's
open.
a chance. It's Typical. It's a top right slot, and FaZe Clan, they steal game 1.
A completely open net. Yan jumps and tries to get to that ball, but he lost it so badly. First killer beat him easily to the ball. FaZe Clan score 4 unanswered to beat Furia in game 1.
And speaking of unanswered, I mean, we have had 18 games in a row for one team. We haven't had a game, we haven't had a series where both teams have got a game in the last 6, I believe. So if this is the best of 1, FaZe win. Hey, congratulations.
It's the best of 5, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a FaZe win. It's going to be 3-0.
Yeah, we might as well chop it up right now. You know, we'll move on to the next stage of the
We're
tournament.
going to be going to a
point.
break. I'm kidding. Don't go
No,
away.
we're not
Still
doing
more.
that. We're not doing that.
Stumping.
Yeah,
Still more.
We're going to break it down a little bit. We are running out of rooms, though, so we'll see if Furia can step it back up. But it was such a strong start, and we
Amazing.
saw that creativity on offense. Everything was working correctly, but then they just started losing those 50s in midfield. That touch from first killer
Brilliant.
forced a bad touch out of Card, and it was the rest was history after that in game 1.
But it was also letting it down on the backside of things, where Furia, that final shot right off kickoff, they all left. They just went anywhere else that they weren't needed. And seeing first killer go into the corner, and then you see Typical approach it, you're like, oh, there's no one to defend.
I feel like FaZe took a leaf out of G2's book in their attacks as well. Just completely making Furia wonder what on earth they're going to do every time they get the ball. Once they did that, Furia just really had no answer.
Yeah, Furia, now they have to find a way to battle back and do what no other team has been able to do today, which is take it to at least a game number 4. And I don't think that they look that bad right now. I mean, yeah, conceding 4 goals in a row, that doesn't look too good, but even in that, you know, I'm still thinking back to how they looked against K-Corp, and it wasn't good. They weren't even hitting their touches at all. At least they're getting to the ball and making that improvement. Now they just have to take the next step and try to tie this game up against Furia, or against FaZe.
All they need to tell themselves is that all that happened is that game went to an overtime and they lost it. It could go either way once you get to that point, and they did do some good defending at the start of the second game as well. So standing strong for now as first killer puts it into the center. A Typical that shoots, but Card gets the save.
What I was so impressed with in that first game is we saw utter selflessness from FaZe.
Oh!
An absolute bouncing roller manages to work its way over the defensive line. It was AJ going to the backboard, and you see Card thinking, okay, there's going to be a power shot, far corner. he just bounces. And sometimes that simple shot is best.
He could have got that if he just double jumped as well. The backflip completely took him out of there, but it was a smart finish there from Faze Clan to put them 1-0 up.
A slight panic from Card on the goal line gives Faze the goal. And a nice bouncer. Typical now, that's his third goal of the series so far. This one put up high. Furia underneath, off the bar. Card coming back in. Kyle, that's off the post. Shot, goal! Yan puts it in.
Finally managing to knock on the door 3 times in a row. Kaio going far post with a challenge off AJ. And then Yan sees that bottom right corner begging to be scored on.
It's working so hard just to get themselves back into it though for Furia, but that goal will mean the world to them, Jorby.
Right on the kickoff. First killer. Gonna grab it. But not much there developing yet. Still battling around the midfield. Now, how do Furia try to progress by this Faze line that just keeps pushing itself forward on the blue half? Typical especially has looked really threatening in the blue half as AJ pops it up underneath, trying to save that dodge. Yan trying to get up in the middle, is Card up for it again in midfield. Not a lot of boost here though. Currently deadlocked 1-1.
I agree with you, the Typical has been the most dangerous player, but look at the finishing that AJ has as well. One pinpoint pass takes Furia's defense completely out of it. Look at this decision making. And it was Typical as we were talking about it. And there's AJ with the finish.
But Kyle has to see what's going on in midfield there. He's creeping upfield, and that ball just jets out over to AJ and caught him out. You can't get caught like that as third man against Faze.
Into the blind spot as well. He just saw that shot coming from nowhere, but great idea from AJ to end up shooting that.
Furia down again. It's Kyle. Forces the 50 out. Faze starting to really feel the pulse of the game. As Typical diving in front, he's winning in the touch, but just a little bit of it is given to Yan. Furia put back on the blue.
I just love the passes that Faze Clan make. Every time they put the ball into a position, it is exactly where their teammates need it to be. Even that one from AJ on the ceiling, Typical was ready for it. First killer travels so quickly, making it so that any touch Furia get, for the most part, it's a 50-50 at best for them. And at worst, it's just a big clearance for Faze. 2 of them are up. They're dunking in the air. The confidence from them. Is there a finish? Not quite this time.
I was going to really recommend and say how good I liked their selflessness and their passing and the Faze Clan that we so rarely get the honor to see. And especially considering the tournament they've had so far, where they've dropped down because they were all trying to be the player with the name in lights. First killer is taking on an absolutely exemplary role. Tries to go low with that shot, but the fact that he's passing, the fact that he's demoing and just trying to open up space for his teammates, that is when Faze Clan win. And it's when Faze Clan can look their worst, when they are ignoring that, when First Killer is trying to do too much. It's not happening now, but Furia have earned themselves another goal.
Yeah, Faze unable to get a quality clear here as AJ losing the ball, and Yan saving that dodge to put it right into First Killer, forcing that bad touch, puts it out into space where Card is waiting for it, able to deliver the tying goal.
Card wanted that ball to go up high, calling his teammate on to send it to the backboard. All of Faze grounded. It was an open shot for him, but the idea to go for it, this is their brains. Their brains are winning it for him on those clever plays.
After the first game, had 3 goals going for Furia so quickly. This one has never looked like a blowout for either team. Just both teams starting to play well, building up that momentum, and Stumpy, you're giggling at some of the touches.
It was just landing on that ball. It really could have worked if that ended up going the way of AJ, if he had any more boost. But now it falls down to another Furia attack, approaching 2 minutes remaining in the game. Much more even. No team dropping the ball at any point, just everybody attacking full bore.
Here comes Yan. He's in front of the box. 2 touches, puts it down, but again, AJ shuffles it back out to the corner. Card doesn't have anything here. You see the demo on the back, or excuse me, First Killer gonna take that one forward. And Kyle getting demoed on the play. That was one big thing I think that really stints Furia's game, is as soon as one team starts getting physical against them, that's when you see that defense break down a lot more. Faze haven't really been that physical though in the game. Their offense has been lights out against Furia anyway.
They've shown good patience as well, Faze Clan. This is the team that gets so itchy when they're trapped in defense, and Furia having to make them defend, especially with fakes like that. AJ puts it as far as he can. Card is there. Typical from the goal line, gets the save.
But there was the double commit on that save as well. They're trying to go for the counter attack. Very close, going just over the crossbar, but there was a double commit. The trust on that back line wasn't there, and it very, very nearly led to the 3rd Furia goal.
This is certainly the best we've seen Furia play as well. They had such a disappointing performance on day 1. They weren't even on the pitch against KC. Now they're taking Faze Clan all the way, even at the early stage in this series.
And I really think if Furia have hope in this series, they cannot drop this game.
Yeah.
Going down to, the only team that has pulled off a reverse sweep is Space Station. They seem to be the only team that can do that in a best of 5 on land. Furia Gonna have to find that in the tank. Yeah, just might have done it. Faze out. A late lead for Furia.
41 seconds remaining, and Yan may well be a South American hero when he returns home, managing to sneak in front of that ball. It has an orange trail, but it only has a golden explosion.
It was a lovely touch as well from Kaio there, just to completely divert the ball, set his teammate up. 41 seconds for Furia to hold on.
Faze, there's certainly no shortage of offense. It only took them a minute to tie a 3-goal deficit in game number 1. Well, it's plenty of time for them as AJ wants a pass, but Typical's way too far off the play. Ends up giving the ball up. Card knows he's got the space, but Typical's not going to give him time to think about it. Furia still looking for a way out, but you see them having to play that small ball game. Faze are all over the place, and now Card getting physical against AJ, trying to shuffle them off the ball.
You mentioned the physicality, and Furia do not want to fall prey to it again. Instead, they're taking it to their predators.
Catch again at the end of regulation. Kaio works it back around. Ball over Card's head. Might be a chance for Faze here off the block. Back wall. Shot comes blocked, but it's still hanging in front of the box. Yan, the only player up. Gonna use the ceiling, but let it drop. Can Furia hang on to it? It's gotta touch the ground. It does, and for the first time today, we will not have a sweep.
Kaio, the hero that every single person in the Rocket League community needed. That save right at the death when it looked like Faze would equalize and send us to another overtime gets us, as you mentioned, 1-1 in the series. I could cry, it's beautiful.
The beauty of seeing 2-1s next to each other and not just a 1-0, 2-0, 3-0.
This feels much more like Rocket League.
Oh, this is lovely. It's a pleasure to share it with you guys. And look, this series is... This was one of the real coin flips. We've been walking around asking people how they're feeling about today, who people think are going to be winning each matchup, and Furia Faze Clan, it's been a real mixed bag. No one has said, yeah, they're definitely going to take it. You know, we're definitely going to see Furia or Faze win. I think that really speaks volumes to how far South America has come when they're taking it this close to one of North America's greatest teams.
We're seeing a great example of how both these teams play as well. Furia, they keep so much pressure, they bundle the ball, they force their opponents into mistakes, and Faze Clan, it's one incisive pass, it's one odd touch, it's one moment of brilliance that you cannot possibly read, and it's making a really interesting stylistic battle between these two teams, which, as we've mentioned, thankfully, has had a game each.
Well, Faze is really challenging Furia's ability to move the ball around the field. I mean, they've had their option coverage on both ends of the field has been excellent, and Furia have had to get creative. We've seen the small ball play on defense, and then even Card having to go for bumps instead of the ball, where Furia, they don't go for a lot of demos. They average just over 2 a game, which is low. I mean, that's low even in their own region. And so that is not something that they really want to do, but Faze are forcing them to go beyond what they're comfortable with.
And we saw it in that game number 1. The fact that Faze came back was when they went for those physical plays. They got like first kill for 3 demos in about 15 seconds, and they got a goal 10 seconds or so afterwards. It was instrumental to their success. They tried it towards the end of game number 2, but it really didn't land. Furia managing to dodge them a little bit better than they have done historically. Typically they fall prey to that time and time again. They don't deal well with being body checked.
When you're in a lower bracket, you have to have a good mentality, and I think even in the little snapshots of their mentality that we've seen so far in this series, we've seen Faze go 3 goals down, come back and win the game. We've seen Furia go behind, come back and win the game. This is the lower bracket. Whoever loses this is out of the Spring Major and won't get to play in front of the crowd, and they are both battling, which is what we need them to do.
Fake kickoff by Furia to start it off. Card wants to make a statement early. Can he do it? Puts it underneath, but can't get the dunk. Not over. Kyle puts it over, and AJ can push it back to the corner. But again, Furia trying to keep things mixed up against Faze and keep things unpredictable.
As we know with this format as well, we said it at the top, but there are so many implications. If Faze win this, you need to be a European fan because they are playing for Europe to be getting a spot secured over in that world's main event. It's Semper, they're watching, wanting this to go their way. South America, you're clearly pulling for Furia as you have done for years.
It's got to be a weird spot for European fans to be rooting for Faze. I'm sure that feels a little odd for them.
Faze are my teammate. I picked him on day number 1. They're my boys. Faze up, let's get it.
They're paying off for you, paying off for EU, but they're not quite paying off in this series just now. Is it still equal after 4 minutes, or after 1 minute with 4 minutes left?
Drop straight down, and 2 Faze players crashed the box. 2 demos. That was on Faze, though. Typical and First Killer deleted on the play. But Typical's actually coming right back. And it's taken up by First Killer. Faze staying in control of the game right now. So they're trying to work their way into the box, but can only find themselves on the edges of the blue half.
I think they heard you, Joby, saying they didn't go for enough demos. Furia with 2 in a row right there. But actually, it's allowed Faze Clan in for this prolonged attack. Card of a save. Typical, can he get it towards First Killer? He can, he shoots. It's over the top though.
Look at the assisted position that Firstkiller's finding himself in. Just then, swiping, sweeping in front of the Furia net, wanting to get as many bumps and demos and just be an awkward player overall. Typical, just off the post. AJ passing, Firstkiller though pushing up too far. Now Card finding Yan on the side. Firstkiller going for those bumps, those demos yet again. Cleared central, but Firstkiller getting the bump on Yan out of the way.
And then Card also got bumped. He was ready for the follow-up, but then he was taken out of the play. So Faze really starting to get more physical against Furia, trying to make their rotations real sweaty as Furia trying to get the ball out. Again, they're spending more time in the blue half.
And Firstkiller, as I was mentioning, he just keeps going for those passes back. He's playing such an assisted role. And I said it last time, I love to see it. That's when FaZe Clan win.
I think Firstkiller gets a bad rap, okay? In the past, has he been a non-team player? Sure. He hasn't been that way for a very long time. He has been the facilitator on this team. He has helped AJ and Typical be successful on this team. He's been a team player for a long time.
They wouldn't win as much as they did if he didn't, and he's showing it again, the maturity that he has when his team is struggling, as I keep mentioning. But Furia really have done well to survive in this one so far. This 0-0, I'd say, has been shaded by FaZe Clan, looking a little bit more likely to score when they do come forward. And it is mainly, it has to be said, because of their star man, Firstkiller.
We are deadlocked. No one able to get the pure advantage. Kaio trying to force the ball out, but here come FaZe on the counterattack. Touch up, and again, the rotation's clean for Card. They get another boomer.
2 minutes remaining, and the deadlock will be continuing.
Ooh.
Good pass, though, from AJ. Just Typical, down and cleared away miraculously.
What a read that was by Kaio. Again, the saves that Furia is showing are making it so difficult for FaZe to score. And now here's Yan. He almost nicks it past two of them. AJ was there. Firstkiller knocks it to the side and gets FaZe Clan going.
Got the pre-flip and got the clear. Card trying to protect the ball. AJ's got to wait for him. And Card launches it to the far side. AJ trying to cut him off, had to use all his boost to do it.
AJ flying across, wanting to shut out that player as much as he could, being a nuisance, a fly in the sky. Yan going for the attack, the flick was on Cards. But Firstkiller, again, chucking himself at the ball.
This is such a good 0-0, though. So many chances, so many insightful attacks. Firstkiller maybe he's going to break it. No, Yan again with the save. Kaio's underneath the ball, but only as far as Typical, and Yan just takes that extra split second, so his clearance is good as it can
touch
be.
there from Yan, right in the Card.
How did Yan get that pass, going for the backflip, perfectly up high in the position of the path of the defending player? It was everything that he needed to do in such a stressful situation.
It's just what Furia do. It's instinctive between the three of them. Such a good team, and I'm so glad they're showing it now as Card carries it over the top of Typical. Firstkiller again, the last line of defense.
Furia, more pressure. Oh my goodness, that would have been nuts. Firstkiller, he's got the ball though, and FaZe can take a quick breath of relief. They push it back, still locked, 0-0 with under a minute. Yeah, under attack, and Typical drives the dagger.
Typical with 40 seconds remaining on the left wing, has a quick check left and just ends up pumping it right. Nobody back to defend at the death of the game.
Just pure pace there from Typical. 38 seconds left. Furia, can you get yourselves back into this one?
Card got the 50 against Firstkiller. That's some time for Yan to get there, but not the best touch for him. Kyle able to get there in time. Now Yan hitting the hurry up button. Here he comes down the field. Typical takes it away. Kyle pass in front to Card. Hard shot! Oh! Name off the bar! Yan back to Kyle! Goal!
20 seconds. We thought it was going to be a lockdown stalemate, but instead it erupts into a shoot-a-thon. Yan Central, Kaio to sink it.
I'm just falling in love with this match, though. From that save from Firstkiller, again, composure on the attack. Shoot or pass, the correct decision was made. We're even.
Typical trying to push the ball out. Kyle wins the first bout. Firstkiller doesn't even get a touch. He gets bumped out of the way. Card, he's in the air. Does he have two? Right to the ground. Spin around. Typical got the touch underneath, trying to prevent a Furia lead late. And he runs down the pitch. He might even get a chance for FaZe. Here they come. No, Yan gets in the way again. Two touches up. They want to play ball. Here comes Kyle. Underneath, he lost it. Firstkiller. He's going to boom it down and make it difficult for Furia to get back. He says, no, we're not going to do that.
That's shy away from the ball. I'm going to boom it now, JK. We go straight onto a kickoff in overtime. Game number 3. Whoever gets this needs another, and then we send in the loser home.
It's a great kickoff as well from Furia. For a second, it looked like there'd be a chance for them. Oh no, one pass too many. Firstkiller almost nipped in there. They're reading Furia, but not quite the finish this time.
Pushed up high in the midfield. Card's got the first look. Yeah, not a lot of boost. Neither does Kyle. But he makes it work. It's across the box. All of FaZe trying to get the ball out. It bounces high off the corner. Where's Furia? There's Yan. Got underneath on the reset. Got the double. And Furia taking the lead in the series.
Standing tall in the middle of the cameras, Card rises to his feet as again the saviour, Jan with the assist, and that teamwork is what may well make the dream work. Furia 2-1 in the series.
You can just never count out Jan from a play. The two Faze defenders, they thought he was done, but he bundled it towards his teammate, and it was the good finish. And look at that. The eyebrow raise as well.
I don't think I've ever seen Card bounce.
He's feeling it, man.
Like, every time they go to Card, he's just got the face of stoicism.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he'll get pumped when they score a goal, but man, seeing him bouncing, that's a different Furia.
And talking about the attitudes of Faze as well, sitting there thinking, we're one off, going home in the lowers. It's lower round 2,
Not making it to
and
the
it is
crowd.
a bloodbath, not seeing that crowd, and that's something that every single team is really aiming for. They want to have that crowd experience, and oh, look at that. The eruption, the fist bumps, it means everything to them, battling for their comrades at home.
Keep thinking about what he said in that head-to-head before the game started. We're fighting for an entire country. You got teams waiting in South America for a chance, maybe to get the Worlds, the club, notably, and now they're looking at one more for Furia to continue in the tournament and maybe realize that dream.
Which is all lovely, Joby, and all well and good, but FaZe Clan want it for FaZe Clan, okay? They don't care about the rest of their country. The 3 players in those seats and their coach and their org, that's all that matters to them. They are happy to break those hearts. They have done it time and time again. You cannot count them out for a second to come back into this one.
Also, it would be very, very RLCS to go for 18-0 in terms of these series
Game
that
5
we're seeing,
overtime.
and then we see a Game 5 between two of the biggest, most passionate orgs here.
That would be absolutely amazing. But Furia, they've started strong. I mean, really, Faze. Most teams would crumble after getting bodied 4 goals when you had a 3-goal lead. Most teams would crumble in that scenario, especially in a major where everything has been sweeps. But Furia they've broken that mold and they're in position to win.
The speed again from Jan there, so fast in the air, but Faze break through. It's simple out of nowhere, and it's Jan who got himself back. Saves Furia for another day.
Choreographing the save from the sidewall, managing to dive in front, and still FaZe Clan unable to score. Card there waiting, ready to poach the first on Utopia.
Furia trying to find their next dance move. It's Jan. Just across the box. Kaio's there to wait. He knows Card's there. Shot low, and it's taken away by Typical.
It wasn't the best pass, but it wasn't the best finish, but the pass was absolutely excellent. Down the other end, there's Typical though.
Typical not needing a pass there. It gets sent long by himself. He finds himself on that left wall, to the floor, and then to the net. I love just the flicking of the camera. Just turns it onto ball cam, off from ball cam, has that pure vision around. And Typical, there's been question marks, but that man is flowing around the pitch.
There's been no question for him. He's scored most of the goals in the series, Cole.
Yeah, in this series, he's been the best player. First kill, though, he can do some damage too. It's not quite there from him. Furia going to have to counter. He's got Typical in front of him as Kaio, and he's lost control of the ball. No, he hasn't. He's letting Jan, but still no attack.
Good bump.
Oh, and a good 50 as well.
Opens it.
The spawn's going to give First Killer a chance. Kaio got the boost steal. Kaio in control. Underneath on the reset. Gets on the wall and couldn't make it work. But Clark gets a free ball, and the shot denied right into First Killer. This is taken away by Jan.
He saw First Killer high on the wall, and yet he still shot high. That shot would have been much better going low or attempting the pass. And FaZe Clan, they sit back on defense. There's 3 of them at any given moment, but it just makes it harder to score.
And despite that, Furia have remained on offense on this push. They need this tying goal as Kaio was hoping the First Killer would drive the ball towards him. Didn't happen.
Those mid-air fakes, Furia have really struggled to deal with them since the beginning of this, where you think you got a read on it, then you don't. But here comes Card with a massive flip. We set past First Killer. Typical gets the save, though.
Typical on the forefront. First Killer next, and FaZe want to control this ball. One of the most mechanical teams in the world. They're employing it right now to try to keep this ball away from Furia. Doing it right now. Trying to waste time on that clock. Card pushing forward.
Furia still playing their own game, though. Some disgusting free jumps every time FaZe come forward. And what it leads to is a passing play.
A tying goal for Jan. Again, he's had enough of these assists. He wants his name up in lights, and they are beaming.
Furia tying up the game. FaZe Clan. It has been a battle. And the desk, most of them felt fairly confident. Gregan even saying FaZe Clan's default is good enough to beat Furia, but Furia are pushing the mold on the expectation of this team. And even maybe get a chance here as Card puts the ball up high, and First Killer gets the boom and clear.
They were just leading everybody to a false sense of security at the beginning, man, of their first series. This is the real Furia, the Furia that you, Jorby, have fallen in love with so many times yourself. You know, we all know you're a fanboy, but Faze, they're so good. First killer, the first touch, the second one as well. Gonna get the third over the top of card. First killer can be undefendable.
First killer does it all! In the midfield, he goes to the ground, flicks it high, and then punishes.
How many times have we seen first killer 1v3? I need the stat check. It's gotta be in at least the 50s.
I'm looking at it right now. 300,000 times he has 1v3.
That checks out. You counted that so fast.
I did, thank you. Yeah,
That's so impressive.
Pretty speedy with the stats.
FaZe Clan securing that lead is going to be instrumental to this series. A potential game number 5 on the way, but there's still the matter of FaZe Clan shutting this one out.
Typical deleted on the play. Yan, here he comes again. He's got the reset. He's still underneath.
No.
What the fuck? And taken away. Typical was underneath, but he's taken out of the field again. Kaio, can he get back to the ball? First killer, non-touch, and it drops for AJ. Big boomer forces Yan. Can he get there? Oh, it's off the bar. And Card will happily take that ball away.
The fake as well, though. It's just Furia again can't deal with it. FaZe Clan missed the ball. They expect such perfection from them, but their passes can be perfect themselves. Here's Kaio, wants to get it past AJ. Does, but not quite where he wanted it.
There's been a couple of errors from Kaio recently. He just hasn't had that full car control. And with first killer going down the other side, Kaio has to get himself back on that train.
Kaio does get the 50. Yan's got a full tank. Whips around the corner. Loses that touch. Still Furia, they're able to get back onto offense. They aren't having to withstand a ton of phase pressure, but you gotta watch out for that counterattack. Namely, we saw it for first killer. Typical from the corner, dropped up high, and it's taken over to the opposite side. AJ, a little bit of boost, forces the 50 down, and this is chewing time off the clock.
The way Typical's playing at the moment, I really thought he could have nailed that one into the top corner, but it wasn't to be, and now Cardi tries it himself, gets the prod. First killer with the save.
I love the positioning there as well. First killer on the backboard. There was I think Typical down on the floor. They both challenge at different heights. And there was no avenue for Furia to attack through. Typical to shoot, Yan to save, AJ to follow up, and FaZe Clan to get clear by 2.
They won the game 5, and AJ saw it coming. Excellent job from FaZe Clan, withstanding any kind of attempt Furia had on offense and killing them on the push.
First killer playing pure sacrificial lamb there. Just being, you can bump me, I don't care. My teammates are sick, they're going to score on you boys.
Affecting their rotations, that's all he needed to do, and it worked perfectly. FaZe Clan look like they are leading us into a game 5 unless Furia can score in the next 10 seconds or so. They have an attack, so can they do it?
Nice little wall dash from Yan, and they just might put that clock on ice cold.
Oh, it suddenly gets very nervy for FaZe Clan, just when they were maybe starting to settle down and compose themselves for Champions Field. Furia dragged them right back to Utopia.
Suddenly, a gigantic, ominous question mark floats above Utopia. Are Furia going to be the answer?
Another fake kickoff.
Brilliant. Love that.
They started off game 3 that way. Kaio,
So much space.
he gets the 50. He has Yan on the wing. If he can find him, but FaZe are covering the net. Go ahead, goal, heading into game 5.
I mean, that's just cheating at this point. That is their free goal. Every time one of them fakes an edge and somebody else nips in, Furia go, wait, that's not fair. That's not what you said you were going to do. Come on, play fair.
I love that the meta is shifting to that as well, where you see the air dribble, but now it's not, is he going to flip reset on? Now it's, is he even going to hit the ball next, or will there just be a snipe down underneath it? And there are no timeouts that Furia are able to take here. We're not at that stage in the competition yet, but we are at the stage for a game number 5.
I told you we ran out of brooms. Okay, so obviously this had to go to game 5. A lot of people talking about this game. There's a lot of confidence in FaZe Clan. Furia, now they have to respond. FaZe, all the momentum heading into the game.
No one's really done anything wrong in attack or defense. I'd say that FaZe Clan are scoring their goals because they are still surprising Furia. Maybe Furia needs to just dive in a little bit less and expect the unexpected. But other than that, they are getting so many blocks on FaZe Clan when they're coming forward. They're getting goals themselves. They're making FaZe Clan work so hard.
And I feel like the one thing that was what Stumpy was just talking about, which was the feints, the air dribble feints, and that it's not even just in the air dribbles. FaZe have really been trying to mix it up. Okay, Furia, you're gonna get in front of every 50. You think you can read where we're going 3 steps in advance? Okay, we're gonna make it unreadable with all of these feints, and that's how Furia have to respond. They have to find a way to adapt.
That's also such an interesting part about watching FaZe, where sure, we have a laugh, we have a go at them for triple committing, double committing, getting each other's way, but when you've got a three-headed monster attacking you or defending, you don't know where you can put the ball, where it's going to be a safe opportunity, or where it's even coming at you from.
With pretty much any other team in the world right now, I'd be saying, okay, going into Game 5, will they play the same way? Will they show the same bravery? But FaZe Clan, we know they will. Those fates are going to keep on coming. Furia have to deal with them here.
I forgot this map existed. Champions Field. And here we are, Furia. Putting Brazil on the line.
I've missed that announcer, Joby.
I think we all did. I can't wait to get back to the crowd. That'll be great to hear. Typical. Gonna pop that one up, but Yan wins that touch in midfield, and it has been a tough battle in the air on these 50s. Not a lot of boost here for Yan. It's Furia trying to get set up.
The last time we saw Champions Field was back when it was Space Station versus Pioneers, when they got reverse swept, and that was on Wednesday.
Oh. Well, it was worth the wait, though. A goal like that from Yan. Beautiful finish.
Excellent job from Furia here. You see in front, trying to get the bump right off a typical. See you later. And Kaio getting a little physical.
Just very physical. And trying to deliver that back to FaZe Clan as well, wanting to get rid. Typical found himself caught on the post. One awkward position, taking full advantage. First killer, are we going to be seeing him trying to go for something special?
You can just never calm down when first killer is around. It seemed like they cleared him. Somehow he finds himself back in the way and almost calls for the goal from the backboard.
It's got to be so annoying for players to handle when he just literally never leaves the play. You never know what he's going to do next. And just to threaten so many every phase of the game.
And also, not just on the ball, off the ball. He's everywhere. He is the every player. And forcing two players to attack him. It wasn't quite enough, though. The angle, not there.
I was certain that it would be, but Yan has a free shot. First killer's just tracking back as fast as he can, and Yan is going to punish FaZe.
This was just a cavalcade of mishaps in front. You see a dump off right to Yan, and first killer, he was in the middle of a flip when that hit happened in front of Yan.
No boost as well for first killer. He was just completely stranded there.
And it was AJ just sending it into the middle, inviting the second goal for Furia, who are looking outstanding on Champions Field.
But you cannot rest your laurels on a 2 or even a 3-goal lead.
Nope.
FaZe have already been in this position once in this series. Well, they can absolutely come back. Plenty of time on the clock as Furia gotta find a way to hold Yan. Trying to push forward. How has he looked today? He has had quite a return to form since day one.
I mean, he's been feeling, that first killer role.
Oh, AJ.
And AJ, he's feeling the role of the sniper.
Well, defending from Furia, they're dealing with FaZe Clan well so far, but it's only going to get harder as the pressure mounts up to survive, to make this crowd, to reach the hallowed halls of London with thousands there. Card almost does give them the third.
The ball sliced in half on the goal line and cleared away by first killer. Now the attack, typical Central.
Yan again.
For Yan to intercept. This time AJ does have boost. Only 50 though. And the attack continues. Card smashes it home.
Card brings the ace out of his sleeve, smashes that one into the back of the net.
In the middle camera, Card is shouting across her FaZe Clan with his teammates, telling them, Furia are here, South America are battling through the lowers.
Furia heating up like the middle of a nuclear fusion reactor. Here they come again. Yan trying to keep it away from Typical. But it's killed, and first killer's got the chance. This is exactly the position they were at this time in game number 1. Can FaZe do it again? But Furia, they've got the momentum. They just got to hang on.
This is such a key phase in this game right now. Every clearance that Furia make, a massive moment for themselves because they will expect FaZe to score at some point. How long can they hold out for?
FaZe are pushing, but not hard enough as Yan gets the touch away. And Yan has just been all over the place. We were talking about first killer. Yan is doing similar things for Furia, just downloading what FaZe want to do with the play, and there's nothing FaZe can do to get around him. He is weaving his way and really fabricating an excellent game plan, is pushed forward, and it's taken away again. FaZe just don't have it.
Opportunities, though, starting to find themselves in this game. FaZe Clan wanting, needing, begging desperately for 3-goal comeback. Will we see a repeat of game number 1, or is this now Furious to lose?
They're starting to run out of time. They had already tied it up by when game 1 hit this mark. Now, typical. Denied. He's scored most of the goals for FaZe, but he hasn't had a lot of chances. AJ coming forward. Typical also sitting on the wing. He's got the catch, and it's taken away again by none other than Yan! Furia see the light, and they're moving forward!
to his feet. Card rises for the second time, potentially sealing the fate of Faze Clan. The lower bracket is brutal, and Furia are furious.
A dunk for all of South America right there. The pressure they put on themselves to represent their region and their country. So far, they're managing it. Faze Clan need 4. They might have 1 here.
They get the first. Hey, I just scored 4 last time. They went to overtime. I still think it's like miracle mode right now for Faze to score 4 within a minute 20.
If it's miracle mode, all you need to rely on is God in the center of Faze Clan's desk.
This is
First
so
killer.
nervy.
Okay.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, Cole, you're like rubbing your hands right here. You're not sure what's gonna happen.
2!
Here it comes. Faze, they've gotten back on their wheels. 2 more to go.
It's a mountain. What else are they for if not to be climbed?
Oh my goodness. Suddenly 2 goals in 78 seconds seems very, very doable for Faze.
Card and Kyle move forward, and it might give them just that bit of stability that they need after 2 quick goals. Another 50 killed in the midfield. There's plenty of time on the clock now. It's a new ball game since the 4-0 just a little bit earlier. Look at Yan underneath. He sets up Card, but it's taken away.
No goal there, but just that touch that Yan took, eating away those few seconds, getting themselves a chance. Massive for Furia's mentality here.
All it takes is 1 goal to give Faze a ton of time to think about how to tie it up. But Furia hanging on, and that thread, every Faze touch just gets a little bit looser. All it takes is 1 solid swipe from Faze to cut it completely free. Faze can control right now.
Such a good bump. This push going on from Faze, but sent central to no one. AJ picking central again, but an interception. Miraculous. Furia, they continue, and it's 20 seconds
AJ.
until glory.
Oh, it's taken away. Kyle got it, but it's a free ball. A shot for Typical. He actually weak. He wanted the pass, he wanted the shot. I couldn't even tell it was so weak. 10 seconds left. Back in the corner. Can Furia do it? Can they take down Faze? Another shot. Saved by King Cole.
That's it.
Up again.
They're up.
No time left. Bono Furia. They have done it. They've taken down Faze Clan. Onwards in the tournament.
North America lose a team. It has been a long time coming, and to their neighbors at that. There are 4 men on the stage.